Are you ready for the weekend yet? We have events, news, and a guest for you to enjoy this Lake Life weekend. Welcome to this week's episode of Lake Life Weekend podcast. My name is Dirk, and we are in week 44 already. Winter hit us last week. Temperatures dropped. The lake is still open, not frozen. I'm happy about that. It's coming too quick, I believe, for all of us. And I don't want to bore you with cold thoughts and maybe better pictures of a fireplace and cozy moments at the lake in Lakes Country, because it's still inviting to visit us here if you don't live here year-round. To check out all the latest news, please drive to our website, lakelifeweekend.com. We have the latest news and also events in the area for you there. I appreciate you tuning in again. It really means a lot because we have been working pretty hard on this and we like to see it grow. We have quite a few things in the pipeline. It will take a few weeks, a few months, but I'm really excited and we're working hard on making this Lake Life Weekend a destination for news and events and also destinations, hidden gems, and then our podcast. If you want to support us, feel free to contact us at hello@lakelifeweekend.com if you have any suggestions, any thoughts, or if you want to propose an interview guest for our program, please feel welcome to email us, hello@lakelifeweekend.com. And since we have quite a number of episodes recorded already, and I felt this one is kind of nice because we just released a little bit of recipes, and I'm going into this cooking, and now it's fall, and maybe you feel like doing something like that. I will release have this interview run with Ketter again. So please join us here for a rerun of the interview with Ketter from the Ketter's butcher place in Frazee. Interesting insights, 4 generations of meat market. And then also if you have venison or anything to process, you can have that taken care of there. A lot to learn and really premier location in Lakes Country to get your meats if you like to cook. So I don't want to keep this any longer. Please join us with our interview with Ketter. And if for any other details, go to lakelifeweekend.com. Thank you for tuning in, and you have a great weekend ahead. Hello and welcome. I'm here in Perham with Ketter, speaking about the Ketter's Butcher Blog from Frazee. And welcome, Kevin.
Well, good to be here.
Thank you for coming. And the audience knows, Kevin, that I live on Lake 7, and my son Harry and I, we visit you, I think, almost every Saturday for a couple of years now.
That's true.
And that's how I got to approach you and invite you for this interview. We really like the beef sticks and all the meats. My dad, when he comes, my family, when my friends come from Germany, actually a lot of my friends, they always crave your meat. So I met Kevin as a butcher. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about the family business. When was it founded?
My grandpa started it in 1925 and ran it for 20, 30 years or so, and then my dad bought it for $1 at the time from Grandpa and tore most of it down. And that was in the 60s, and he rebuilt most of what is there today. 1980, I bought a lot next door, and we moved the lockers over there and opened up the retail area to where what we have now at about 5 times the retail space that we had, back in the 60s. So
I always see the locker. You just mentioned it. First of all, you and your brother own it currently?
Craig,
mm-hmm. And you own and operate it.
Yeah.
And the locker, what is that exactly? Because it's the stone wall.
Yeah, if you need freezer space, don't have a deep freezer or something, you can bring it in, and for so much a month, you can rent a spot in there that locks up. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Used to be a lot of that around. Everybody's kind of phased that part out, but we've kept some of it.
So if I'm a hunter, for example, and I have deer, or like who needs that much deer or meat storage?
Farmers and stuff, they'll have a beef butchered in the fall or something, and maybe don't have room for it all at home at the time, and store some of it there and take some home, and then come back in and get it. And
interesting. So there is really a meat locker for private. I didn't know that. I was always wondering what that part is. So I can rent a little locker.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. So let's back up your grandpa. What was his name?
Ed.
Ed Ketter, of course.
Yep.
He founded it in the 1925.
1925.
Was he? Did he resettle, or did his father come?
He was. They came from Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they were in the Parkus Prairie area. He was actually one of 7 brothers, and they all went into the meat business.
Really?
Every one of them either worked for somebody or had a shop. And,
all under the name Ketter?
Yep.
There was a little, you had multiple destinations. Where? All in Minnesota?
Yeah, pretty much. Chicago and Long Prairie, more a little bit south, is where most of them were, Alexandria area.
What an interesting history. And then, how many are still open? Are there more?
No, we're the only ones left open. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Ed founded 1925. He was born in the U.S. already?
He was born here, yeah.
He was born in Minnesota. And your father, was his name? What was his name?
Kenny.
Kenny, okay.
Yep.
Kenny from the 60s through the 80s?
Yep.
And then... he was a butcher by trade. Are there family recipes still?
Yep, still all the old German family recipes. And my dad is 80, going on 81, and he's there every day.
I see him,
sausage yet, 4 in the morning a lot of times. He's there making sausage. And
oh, he's involved?
Oh, yeah. He makes just about everything, the sausages and everything, yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't know how involved he is. Yep. And the recipes are still from your grandfather?
Yep.
Interesting. And how many... Tell us a little bit more about the product. What do you all offer? Sausage?
Oh, yeah. Probably the one that started us out was country-style sausage. It's an old German sausage. And since then, we've got many kinds of brats, like 25, 30 kinds of brats, and summer sausage and wieners and different stuff like that. Still make head cheese and blood sausage, liver sausage, all that old German stuff.
I had I think I told your daughter once before, and I'm sorry, I'm always critiquing. The liver sausage is good. It's a little dry. I think we need to add more grease. No, seriously. But anyways, I share with you while I have you here. I want to try that because we have it a little bit more like a
pate.
You can spread it better. Here it's very crumble. And I don't know, I'm definitely not a cook or chef or butcher, but I thought maybe grease will loosen that up. Maybe we tried Dirk's... Calories, always good. German food, very greasy. But so you do blood sausage, head cheese? Yeah, my dad bought those things when he was here. This is all made in the back.
Yep. And one thing we're really known for yet is our old-fashioned smokehouse. It's not one of them new computerized, fangled ones where you heat and cook and everything with maple wood. It's maybe the last one in the state. My inspector tells me anyway. He keeps trying to talk us into a new
system,
a new smokehouse.
No
but
way.
We're fighting him tooth and nail. Fighting progress every way we can. To keep the product
traditional.
Yeah, the old way. So hopefully we'll be able to keep it up.
Oh, I'll help you if necessary. So tell me, like you have an old smoker, and it's more hand operated and more natural.
Yeah.
I have no clue about smoking.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of an art, and that's why my dad is still there, and good at it. It's an art. He's got to know how much wood to put on to get it to a certain temperature for so long, and when to pull the meat out and everything. It's more of an art than just pushing buttons on them new computers.
I believe it, and I agree. I absolutely agree. I think one can taste it. That's why we get our beef sticks, but they're dried, right? The ones that I buy, they're not smoked, correct?
Yep, they're smoked too.
Oh, they're smoked too. Okay.
And dried in the smokehouse.
Okay. And what is usually smoked? Those the jerky?
Jerky sticks and the flat beef jerky and turkey jerky. Yeah, they're all done in that smokehouse.
What is actually? Tell me about smoking. What does it mean? Does it sweat? Like, what is the smoking process? You just
Well, first you need to cure it with a salt or some seasoning or something, and then it goes in the smokehouse and actually cooks in there. If you keep it in there long enough, certain things got to be cooked, like your jerkies and stuff, where the brats don't per se have to be in there long enough to cook them and shrivel them up, because people cook them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So and then just put a good healthy wood smoke on them, and
You put the brats in there as well?
Yep.
For the taste?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. Just about all our brats are smoked. They do make a fresh brat too that's not smoked, but 99% of our customers like the smoked ones. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we got home cured bacon and stuff like that too. That was all done in that old time smokehouse.
Yeah. No, I see bacon, the sausage. You have a lot, but you have all kinds. You have. Tell us about the cuts. I mean, or the process. Because I'm sorry, I'm really excited actually to learn a little bit. And you get the whole beef in, and then you use every cut,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us about that. I don't know how many butchers are like that still there. Not many, huh?
It's gotten easier over the years. A lot of stuff comes boxed up, and then we cut it up and put it in a case as far as fresh cuts of meat and pork chops and stuff like that. With the inspection we have, we're not allowed to slaughter an animal and sell it over the counter.
Okay.
Farmers do that. They'll bring in a beef and they'll say, well, I only need half of it, and they'll sell some to other people as quarters or halves. So we do quite a bit of that for lining. We can line up people with a farmer or something, if they want to buy a half or a quarter of beef.
But like the rib eye and all that, or like what is it, porterhouse, or what are some cuts, sirloin. These are special parts of the animal, right?
Yep.
These are special. So you get those. You cannot get a beef and cut that anymore.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Not with the inspection that we have.
Ah, okay. So there's a certain level.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Is it Minnesota beef that arrives?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's farm. Is it? How far away? Where is it coming from?
Oh, it's probably within 100 miles or so radius.
Okay, so we have local product in a very small local store.
And we kind of pride ourselves on aging that meat too, like they used to.
Yeah.
Because the more you age it, if you age it properly, the more tender it gets, more tastier it gets. Rather than saying it's a nice fresh cut steak, well, we kind of like to say, well, it was cut today, but we've aged it beforehand, to make it tender. And
I'm sorry, but like, I get it. I think was it a big hype now in New York City or something, or even in Paris, where it ages and doesn't even get mold for months, and there's even a mold cover around it.
That they do that there, and that's the way we used to do it, but we've kind of gotten away from that part of it now. But it is not harmful to the. It's actually kind of cheese is mold too, like blue cheese. That's pure mold. So if you do it right, then you get the tenderness out of the steak. Cut that mold off, that first cut, and then cut your steak off.
So the longer it ages, professionally done, of course, we maybe should not try that at home. But no, yeah. But like then it's more tender, because I must admit, your beef, when I have my guests and I like barbecues, it's just really tender. It's just amazing. It just melts like butter. So it has to do with the aging.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, that's fascinating. But you have, I know you also have frozen. You have a whole bunch of. Like you have buffalo. What is your most exotic beef that you can buy?
Yeah, probably buffalo is. We used to sell elk and stuff like that too, but we've kind of gotten away from that. But
you have lamb?
No, we don't go into lamb too much. Quite a bit of turkey products. Because it's turkey country.
Right.
Lots of different turkey products.
Right, you have turkey. What's with the lamb? Because in Germany, for example, we eat very seasonal. For example, for Easter, we always eat a lamb rack. Or like, I mean, you get lamb in certain restaurants in this area too. Also goose. We eat a lot of goose. We don't eat turkey actually too much, but we eat goose or duck.
Yeah.
We eat a lot of duck. I mean, maybe just my family, but we have to go. Usually, we have farmers markets, large ones, and I don't know if you need to pre-order them. No, they come with duck, but it's seasonal. Can I request? Can I inquire? Could you get your hands on a duck or a goose?
Yeah, we sell a few. You know, there's not a big demand for them, but we usually have them on hand all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Good. My mom is coming in 3 weeks.
Especially duck, not so much the goose, but we usually have some ducks.
Okay, I'm gonna have her buy.
Yeah.
And lamb could one get a lamb rack? No.
A little tougher to get. Real seasonal, you know, in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
I think your chances of. I'm sure I can order it in.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to find out. And how many people work in a butcher? I see a lot of people always behind the counter and in the back. How many people does it take to operate your?
During the majority of the year, I've got my two daughters, Brooke and Brittany, that run the front, and me and my brother Craig do a lot of the meat cutting and stuff, and Dad and my other brother Kyle are in the back making sausage, and then we've got that's all family members, and we've got one butcher hired to do the slaughtering and stuff that's not a family member, and that's about it for the majority of the year until fall when we get busy, you know, slaughtering, and then into deer season, then we probably hire another 4 or 5 people.
Oh, really?
For a couple months. So, but as a rule, it's mostly family.
Really?
Most of the year.
So you just mentioned your two daughters, and they're more in the front. They're not hands-on too much?
Well, they run the retail part of it.
Okay.
And they do all the slicing of the bacon and keeping the front looking good, and replenishing the stock that they sell. And
so it's fourth generation Ketter working in the shop.
Yep.
Are there intentions for them to take over at a point?
Yeah, I hope they do. Yeah, I think they will. They've been there nearly 20 years already too, so I'm sure that's their intention.
Oh, really? Since teenager years, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah. But coming to product, I also know you have wild rice.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you? It's not a convenience store, but it's a specialty store a little bit.
Right. Yep. My brother actually has Craig. He's got a wild rice company.
Oh, really?
And he buys it from the natives and has it parched and brings it in. But so that's where we get the rice from.
Oh, you have your own label.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And just some jellies and jams from local people that make stuff around, and we bring in buns and bread and stuff from a small town bakery in Detroit Lakes that does an excellent job. So
you got a lot of local product and still small bakery, not from the truck.
Nope. Yep. They're Main Street Bakery in Detroit Lakes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and I did pre-order that once. I had a little picnic, a family or friends over, and I had to order them. And I remember, and it's a difference.
Yep.
And little jams, syrup.
Yep.
So a lot of handmade product.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think you also have fish.
Fish, you got pretty good assortment of seafood. Yeah, scallops and lobster and shrimp and fish and crayfish and.
And I know, and I tried it. I think you have smoked salmon, so you also improve the natural product, right? Like in the smoker again, correct?
Yep, right. Mm-hmm. We do whitefish and salmon on a regular basis.
Yeah, and it was pretty delicious.
Yeah.
And what's whitefish? Or what whitefish?
Yeah, that's
tilapia? No.
Yeah, it's local around here. I'm not sure. It's
Oh, it's a Minnesota
it's,
fish.
It's oilier, yeah. It's Minnesota fish. It's oilier and stuff than a salmon, and more of a white meat, not a pink.
Yeah, no, I remember. Now I forgot the name too. But I remember, I think your daughter telling me it's a Minnesota fish. So you get it from a fishery? So
Yep.
it's
Leech Lake Fisheries.
really?
Yeah. Well, that's where our walleye comes from too, Leech Lake.
Is it
From the natives. They got a plant up there, and so it's local.
okay? So so I get local Minnesota walleye too.
Yeah.
There's a lot to explore, a lot to find. What makes Frazee special to you? You grew up in Frazee,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and I think we just got talking. We're in Perham now. Looking back, Frazee once was the same size than Perham,
When I graduated, yeah, they're about same size population-wise, yeah.
and I think Vergas has the school in Frazee too. So it's a little bit challenging at times. Perham grew larger. What do you like most about the area? You live in Frazee, I assume,
Yep.
still?
Probably just people in a small town living yet, and hometown is, everybody knows everybody. Sometimes that's not so good.
Yeah, sometimes. But the small community.
Yeah.
Who is the majority of your customers? They cannot only be Frazee. So they come from a lot of local, obviously, but who comes to your shop?
Yeah, we get a lot of people out of Fargo and North Dakota that are down to the lakes area, and
They stop by.
yeah, real good. We got a real good following with our venison processing and stuff. We do probably a tri-state area. They come
Really?
to have their deer cut up there and their sausage and brats and stuff made. So I would say
How do they find you? Or how do they know?
just word of mouth mainly. We don't do much advertising. We've been there that long, it's just
Tradition.
Yeah,
Grandpa always went there.
yeah.
Really?
And then they tell their kids, and their kids start coming, and it's just kind of grown.
Revolving.
Yeah.
Interesting. And like you said, 6 people are involved. So, it's fascinating that a small family business still exists for so long. And do you think you're still growing?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Really? I'm fascinated.
Actually, the retail part of it, because we've added a lot more product and just done a little more upfront. And
I think you also have a barbecue or something, like a grill.
yeah, we sell Louisiana pellet smoker grills.
Oh yeah, okay. How's that going?
Pretty good. Yeah, that's a really good grill.
Is it?
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm going to sell you one here.
Yeah. You know what? I should actually get one. Tell me about that. What is special about that thing?
Well, it's kind of like our smokehouse. It gives it everything you cook in there, that good home or that smoky hardwood smoke flavor. You can cook pizzas in it, bake a cake in it, or just.
It's like an oven?
Yeah, it's got a digital control on it and keep everything at the right temperature. But it smokes as it cooks, and the steaks and chops and everything are phenomenal.
Really?
On that.
And it's
smoker.
little pellets though.
Yep.
So it's not
Self-feeding.
charcoal.
Nope.
So
It's all self-feeding. It just keeps feeding the pellets in when it calls for them. And
huh. How big is it?
they make different sizes, but like average size grill, like a gas grill.
And it's easy to operate.
Really simple. Just push the digital. If you want to cook at 350, push 350.
Like an oven.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you can cook slow without being there. I like to put on a TriTip, and I'll put it on in the morning before I go to work. TriTip, and get it seasoned up and stuff, and maybe put it at 225 degrees. And when I come home at night at 6 o'clock, it's been cooking all day long without me being there to watch it, and it's nice and black on top. That old.
What is a TriTip? I really don't know. What is it?
It's sort of like a brisket.
Okay.
It's a little bit higher, better cut than that.
Okay.
Like a lot of people do briskets too with them, but
It's kind of like a slow cooker then?
yeah, you can cook real slow with them, and it just stays at constant temperature.
Huh.
Where a gas grill is a little harder to control, but
Huh.
yeah, it's excellent.
I think you're making a sale here.
Yeah.
I'm really going to try that out because I just told you I want to have a little barbecue station out here and have some fun. I think a Louisiana grill. I like the charcoal. I don't have a gas grill. I have one of those black charcoal grills. That you Weber, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I like I like it takes a while. I like the whole ceremony about it. Germany is big in barbecuing. I think like everybody's always barbecuing, and it's not about quick, or it's more about the ceremony to me. I like to stand around it, and I don't know, it's fun, but it's intriguing if you operate more guests and you have it. In Louisiana you can just have it set, and then you don't have to worry about burning anything. So
you can still stand around and have a good time while it's cooking.
Yeah, I know. I guess no. I'm intrigued. I will get one for here probably. Yeah. So, Frazee. I know we built a new flagship gas station. Do you think there's more traffic for that? Has that been helping Frazee a little bit?
I'm sure it has. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made a big improvement there.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice building there.
Yeah, it's it's right here. What else? What else do you do for fun in Lakes Country? Do you hunt?
Yeah, I do quite a bit of hunting, mostly out in Montana. I've been deer hunting here when I get time. That's kind of our busy season, but I don't do much fishing anymore. My dad, he fishes every chance he can get.
Yeah, well, he deserves it now.
Yep, exactly. But I do a lot of farming and stuff on my spare time. I do some ranching and.
Okay.
Gotta raise some of them beef up.
Do you have your own beef?
Mm-hmm.
Also, okay, that was actually a question I had. So you raise your own beef too?
Yep.
Okay.
And I could sell you a quarter of that.
Okay.
So that's my way around that part.
Ah, okay. Sure. I understand. I like that you have your traditional recipes yet still from your grandfather. I like that a lot. I think you can taste the difference with the handmade. Have you been to Germany yet?
I have not. No.
You have not?
I'd like to.
Yeah, I think I should take you, or I should at least map out a little bit a destination trip. But do you know where your family is from in Germany by any chance? Well, you don't have to know, but
yeah, not exactly. I don't.
No, it's okay. We will find out.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you all about it. Maybe there's still. Do you know if there's other family still in butchering in Germany? Do you know?
I would sure guess there probably would be.
Probably, yeah. So if 7 siblings became butchers, they must have been in the family.
Must have been in the family.
Yeah. It would be interesting to find out. In fact, actually, I think I would love to help doing that research. Well, I'm really a fan of your shop. It's very it has mounts and it looks very rustic. I don't know. I can't get enough of it. And my son Harry, we just love it. Sometimes he wants to go in himself, order, and he pays by himself. I have to wait in the car. It's very family friendly. It's a nice little shop. So I can only recommend visiting. It's right downtown Frazee. Is that Front Street, Main Street?
Main Street.
Main Street. That's right. You won't miss it. Anything else you would like to add?
I think that covered it pretty good, Dirk.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming again. Pleasure, and see you soon. Yeah, this was already our newest episode of the Lake Life Weekend podcast. We sure hope you enjoyed it. Tune in again next week with another great guest and updates. Always check out our website, lakelifeweekend.com, and if you have some comments, please feel free to email us at hello@lakelifeweekend.com, and you have a wonderful weekend ahead.